Shakat 605. We can go.
Okay, great. I'm going to share the screen once again.
So, hey everyone, sorry, just to give you a quick introduction. So we have Shikha with us, who is the expert on the Indian liberal arts colleges. She's going to run through a couple of the options, the school's admission process. And of course, there is a question answer. So please feel free to reach out to her, ask her during the webinar, or reach out to your mentors later on if you have any specific questions. Thank you, Shikha.
All right. So as I said, this is, as Shriti already said, liberal arts colleges in India. And we will begin with the popular ones. In India, we have, first of all, liberal arts, and then we have the traditional study options, right? You all heard of these few names like Ashoka, Kriya, Plaksha. To my popular colleges, I've also added a few more. I'll just walk you through each name right now. Ashoka is in Sonipat, Plaksha is in Punjab, Kriya is in Andhra, OP Jindal is in Haryana, Flame University is in Pune, Symbiosis in they actually have many campuses. They also have a campus in North, and they also have a campus in Indore right now. And of course, Pune one is a more popular one. Ahmedabad University, Gujarat. Atlas Skilltech is in Bombay. BITS Law School, I put a star here. It's not a liberal arts college, but it's a new college which many of our students are now looking at. It's obviously for law. And there's Anand School for Climate Action, again, not a liberal arts college, but affiliated to Anand National University, which is in Ahmedabad, again, which offers liberal arts choices. So these are the popular courses which colleges will be talking about today. The professional courses we are looking at are JEE, CET for engineering, CLAT CLAT for law, NEET for medicine, architecture as NATA, and of course MBA IPMAT, which is a 5-year integrated IIM Indore and a few other IIMs which offer this course, right? For all of these colleges, we do require the popular liberal arts ones, especially, we do require your 10th, 11th mark sheets, we require essays, we require letters of recommendation, your extracurricular activities, and your predicted grades, which is obviously based on term 12 when the kids are into 12th grade. The predicted grades are a bunch of from your 9th, your 10th, your 11th, and whatever the kids have done in semester 1 of 12th grade, PGs are based on that. What I'm trying to say is, if your child is in 9th grade right now, you have to keep the grades up. You can't take, okay, board exams is only in 10th grade or 12th grade, so let the kids, if the grades haven't gone well. But unfortunately, these marks are counted at any given time to all these popular colleges. Each of them has an entrance test, whether it's the liberal arts colleges or these professional courses that you do at these colleges. Every single college has an entrance test. All right, Government of India has also started CUET. So Ashoka University is accepting its own test or SAT and CUET, but we recommend that Ashoka assessment, which is their own test, is mandatory. So give that. If at all you have to give any test. So if Plaksha has any other exam plus their own test, give the own test. So CUET, if you're going to give, Delhi University or Mumbai University or other public universities apply to India, give the CUET also. At the end of the day, it's a test which if you take the test, you keep your scores handy, you can still use it for any other college that you might want to apply to, because it is, as I said, Government of India test, and it is, eligible for all colleges in India, right? They also have an interview. Interview is actually based on the third stage, which is you clear the application form, you clear the assessments, and then the interview is mostly by invite only. So it is selective. And at the Red Pen, of course, our students, we give mock interviews, multiple mock rounds of interviews. So they are at least, they can, when they go into the interview, they're fully prepared. All right, the second part of this talk is what is liberal arts? And obviously we're busting popular myths. Many people come to us thinking it's purely liberal arts means fine arts. The whole line is actually liberal arts and sciences. That means these colleges are offering you all core subjects which the student has studied across your high school, which is your sciences are also there, your social studies are also there, your languages are also there. Many colleges, in fact, I believe Ashoka is also planning to start some form of engineering. It's not out. I just read it somewhere and it was on their website, along with, I think, one of the IITs they were tying up. But in short, liberal arts is offering every single course which is studied under your high school, right? Popular liberal arts colleges I've already mentioned. I've told you what the entry requirements are, which are obviously your 9th to your 11th, 12th, and your predicted grades, and some tests and an interview if required. And of course, lots and lots of essays. The advantages and disadvantages we'll talk about later. Cost of education in a private liberal arts is close to 10 lakh rupees per annum. This is counting your living and your meals and your housing also. All right. All right. The next part of the slide is that liberal arts gives you a flexibility to choose. So what this means is if the student is sure that they want to study economics, they still walk into liberal arts colleges, and they all of the students will study a foundation course in the first year, and only the second year they will start taking courses for economics. So whether the student is born for biology or physics or economics, every single student studies the same courses at the core level of the first year. And then many students have actually gone there and decided, they're struggling with economics and maths, then they rather do history or international relations or something else. So this is why liberal arts has become popular in India, because this is a very American concept. And, they are the ones, they have a 4-year degree. Anybody who wants to do even pre-med in America, they literally walk in the first year, they all study the same courses as most other students. It's only in the second year onwards that they start studying the pre-med track or engineering track or just the pure liberal arts, and then they focus on whichever major they want to do eventually. So you can literally study science, math, commerce, humanity, anything in a liberal arts college. All right, the next part of the space is liberal arts is gaining popularity, and the myths are obviously that this is only for fine arts and humanities, which I've said it is not. They do offer STEM courses, full like the physics, chem, bio, all lab sciences, computer science, they have everything out there. Okay. Many people also say that gives you, it literally jack of all trades and master of none. This is not so. At an undergrad level, if you do walk into a liberal arts college, with the first year being foundation year, in the second and third year you take economics courses, so you pass out with the bachelor's of economics degrees. You literally have all the options open after your econ degree. It doesn't have to be just business management. You can do masters in economics, you can do masters in management if you want to do, you can do anything after that. It's not that you studied a little bit of everything and fine-tuned in nothing. You do get a major at the end of your degree. I've already pointed out where these colleges were. This is as per the map. The popular ones in North India are Ashoka, Plaksha, and OP Jindal. Ahmedabad is out here, and even Anant National University is in Ahmedabad. NMIM is Symbiosis, Atlas Skilltech, all around Bombay and Pune. Kriya is here. So now we will break it down per college, what the requirements are. Location, as I said, is Sonipat, Haryana. It is about an hour and a half. If you all are from Bombay, so from Delhi airport, it is about 1.5 hours away. And if you are around Delhi or any other country, I'm sure you probably visited Ashoka, and give us the feedback how you find the campus is. Applications requirements, of course, your academic scores, your 10th, 11th, and your 12th. SAT, ACT is not required. If your student has given the test, either of the tests, and you have a good score, you can add it to your application, but it is not really required for Indian universities. Okay, personal essays, yes, are required. There is a recommendation letter which goes from the school council. There's one LOR which goes, letter of recommendation. And non-academic engagement is obviously your extracurricular activities which you require. So Ashoka assessment, which is mandatory, and I've written TSA because this is the Cambridge Thinking Skills Assessment Test. You don't have to give the TSA, you have to just prepare from it. So if the student is in grade 12 and the first round of Ashoka is in September or October, he can take a month to prepare. He does not need any coaching classes or any prep classes for this particular test. You have to be good at math and general knowledge and English, etc. But by and large, there is no coaching required for this test. But this is a mandatory test. Okay. There are on-the-spot essays, and for that very reason, when we do personal essays for the student, we tell them write in your language, your flow of thought, because on-the-spot essay will catch that if somebody else has written your essay. And then by default, you will not get the interview invite. And this is, as I said, only by invite. And it is quite rigorous. It is a mix of what course you want to study, which is still a liberal choice. You can still change what you want to, and also a little bit of your personality, what you've added in your application. So they can literally ask you a question and ask you, what do you understand by demonetization if you're applying for economics? And the next question can literally be, okay, what songs on the guitar can you play? So it's a mix of your personal and your your academic choices that you've added in your application. Priya University is another popular liberal arts college, is in Sri City, about an hour and a half away from Chennai, which is the nearest airport. And this has obviously the essay, which is your personal story. They have an academic details, of course, the same requirements as an Ashoka application, as in your grades, your SAT, and your SAT, ACT is not mandatory at all. So if any child is doing only India and no other country, then do not give the SAT, ACT unnecessarily. It's not required. It does help you prepare, if at all, but you do not need to give this test, because students do get stressed in 9th and 10th when they are preparing for this test. It's not required for Indian colleges. Extracurriculars are required. There's something called Kriya immersion case, which pre-pandemic used to be when any student, group of students used to be taken to any city, like whether it was Delhi or Bombay or Chennai or wherever, they were taken in, groups of 10 and 20s. And there was a cohort of faculty from Priya, and they used to literally leave the students with some sort of a, they used to give them, like, you are suppose in, Fort area of South Bombay. Tell us, if you were a civic officer, how would you improve this place? And then they used to give them question, and the kids had to prepare their own, they were bundled up into groups, and they had to kind of, figure out way to do it. At the end of that session, they used to take them back to wherever, I think whichever place that they had for the interactive sessions. And then they used to ask one-on-one questions also. So it was both like a group study as well as an individual assessment that they did. But since COVID happened and this became online, we are assuming it's going to go back offline, because this was very, very popular and the students actually enjoyed that. And that actually made them want to go to Priya for that very reason. So I have heard from some Priya authorities themselves that they might bring this back on. There is no interview like Ashoka style at Kriya, but there is this interactive session, which is not purely academic, but more like a personality and get to know you kind of an interview at Kriya. This is what I spoke about right now, the case study presentation. This is the online stuff which people are having. So they're giving you something on, when the students are sitting, like in how we are sitting in a webinar, there's a whole bunch of, there's a breakout rooms also, and the kids go into a group. If it remains online, this is what I'm talking to you about. They have a group discussion, presentation, and conversation, and reflective essays, all part of the Kriya immersive case, which is, they will give you a case study, or it could be a business case study, it could be a archaeology case study, it could be something to do with tourism, it could be any case study. They only want to know how a student thinks on his feet. If the student wants to do physics, can still give answers for this case study, whether it's history oriented or economics oriented. It's just a mixed bag of general knowledge and simple questions and answers which the students have to answer, and even come out with sort of your own presentation style, which they actually give you time to create a presentation and then prepare. I mean, they basically make you think on your feet. That's the kind of KICs that they have. Ahmedabad University is becoming slightly popular. It has been around for a while, and I personally visited the campus. And why I like to keep Ahmedabad as part of liberal arts colleges, because they do have engineering, they have economics, they also have liberal arts studies as part of their things, which Ashoka and Priya may not have engineering. Ahmedabad has it. And why I like this, first of all, is because their faculty is very good, and they have a very simple style of teaching. They have divided all their courses in elements like water, earth, soil and sky and stuff like that, and they have kind of merged every single academic subject into as part of that. So whether you're in first year or second year, you have to touch base on all your elements, and then you will get your degree. It's sounding a little complicated, but once you see their website and all that, you will actually enjoy the way that they're teaching the students. They're kind of mixing pure living with academics. It's not just simply, go into this university, sit with your books, give your exam and get a degree. They're trying to merge every single thing with community service also. So I personally like the style of their pedagogy that they've adopted, but if you would like, you can read more online. Again, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th marks are important. We always tell students, do not slack in 9th and 10th. or at all, simply because your high school grades are very, very important all the time. Again, SAT, ACT is, if you have it, give it. If you don't have it, don't take the test. If you're not applying to any other country, if it's only India, do not need to give it. You do have a small one personal statement that you have to write. It sounds 500 to 700 words, but by the time the students start writing about it, it's just one essay. Unlike Ashoka and other places where there are 2 to 3 essays, right? Again, non-academic engagement is your extracurricular activities. They have said no recommendations needed, but we always say to any student that, if you're applying to any colleges, keep an LOR or two ready. So in case any college, because every time the colleges, when they start their, the new sessions, they change and tweak things. As of date, Ahmedabad doesn't require it, Ahmedabad University, but they might require it. So might as well keep your LOR ready. As I said, generally, this is one of the easier universities to get into. And I personally like it a lot. And the best part of it, it is part of the Ahmedabad Education Society. This is the same body which started I Am Ahmedabad. So if you've all heard of that, you know the ethos behind this university also. Great place to be. Flame University is in Pune. It's in Lavale, Pune. It's outside of the city. And if you want to know the pros of it, fabulous place, beautiful campus on the hillside. And they have sports, which is mandatory, which I personally like in a university, because when kids, the students who finish 12th grade and they go to university, then they go slack on any physical activity. This university literally gives you credit points for attending a sport. So I think that's a good thing to have, and at least some activity and some physical activity or sporting activity continues. And another point to remember is that this university is vegetarian by far, because it is the promoters are vegetarian people, and for that reason, some people have said that is a no, but I personally feel I should tell you all right away, because if you're hardcore non-vegetarian students may not like it. So, but at the end of the day, people are okay because they like the overall the university has a good vibe about it. You can always step out of the campus and get your non-veg feed if you really want to, but it's a good place to be otherwise. They have essays. This is 150 to 300 words. Unlike Ahmedabad, which had one long essay, this has 3 essays. It has a test, which is called the Flame Entrance Aptitude Test of FEAT. It has multiple choice tests, and Flame has another simple system which other universities in India still don't have it. That if you apply in the first round and don't get in, they still give you another choice to reconsider and reapply in the same cycle. Suppose you've applied for fall 24, you have not got into first round, you can still try in that for fall 24, you can still try once again. This was till last year, and I'm hoping this remains here. All other universities, if they deny you or they don't take the student, there is no other chance that you have to apply for the next cycle, next year. Flame has still got, you can still get a chance to apply in the same year. Symbiosis University has been around for a very, very long time, and they have started Symbiosis Liberal Arts College also. And why we've not included the others, like they have Symbiosis Engineering, they have Symbiosis Law, they have Symbiosis everything else also, but purely because we are this webinars for the liberal arts, so therefore we've only kept that bit. They have to give this SET or the Symbiosis Entrance Test. Once that moved a little fast, sorry for that. Once the test scores are out, you have to give the personal interview or the writing ability test. And this is going to be conducted at their campus in Pune. And this is in Viman Nagar. If anybody knows Pune, Viman Nagar is obviously close to the airport also, and close to Kalyani Nagar and Koregaon Park. And as I have interacted personally with Symbiosis students, they're very proud to say we are in the KP bubble or the Koregaon Park bubble, because they like to be. It's a very vibrant place to be at, and students actually enjoy that place. So they enjoy studying at Symbiosis for obviously the academics and for the downtime too. It's a mixed bag thing. So we've had students with average grades also getting into Symbiosis Liberal Arts, but we've had kids with very, very good grades not getting into Symbiosis. So it's like a mixed bag also. So we don't know I think it's a part of the personality or the personal interview which kind of makes or breaks the students admit at this university. NMIMS is in Mumbai, in Vilepale, and it is, of course, very, very popular, part of the Narsi Monji group. Their liberal arts is called Jyoti Dalal School of Liberal Arts. It is all in the same campus as your other, like your Mukesh Patel engineering or your other BBA courses, etc. All of them are in the same campus, but it has its own building. They have housing. If anybody is coming from outside of Mumbai, they have housing in separate buildings, which they have sort of leased out from thing. They don't have a like a boundary wall campus, like Ashoka, Kriya, Flame, Ahmedabad. They have a proper campus. Whereas NMIM is like it's like how Bombay is, like lots of buildings. One of the buildings is housing. One of the buildings is Jyoti Dalal School of Liberal Arts. They have the NPAT exam. It is held in the month of May every year. So if the students are in CBSE or ISC, they've already given their exam. So for them, preparing for NPAT is going to be easier, and they can give the exam in May. For IB students, it could be a little bit of problem because IB exams are happening at the same time. But if the student is capable of handling the NPAT or the IB, then they can definitely do it. But it is in May, and I think it's going to remain so also. The NPAT exam you have to prepare. We have had many students who've actually gone, because this NMIMS is a very, very popular college across India. And we have more number of applicants here than perhaps any other college that I've spoken about. So for that reason, we do, for NPAT, go for some sort of a crash coaching or something like that. I personally don't like. I think kids are capable of enough studying by themselves. But this is the kind of test that might require some extra hand holding, right? As I said, there's a merit list which is going to be given, and it is tough. And therefore, if you don't get in, then there's personal interaction if you get into the merit list. So very data driven, this exam thing. They don't have any essay as such. Okay. If anyone has questions so far, please stop me and I'll answer your questions. Can I move on? I'm assuming. Okay. I am bachelor's. This is the MBA and bachelor's MBA, this 5-year integrated program. It is through IPMAT. This test is very tough. For this test, it is definitely required. If you're really keen on this kind of a course, you must prepare well, because if you manage to get into the better ones like IIM Indore or something, it's just good to kind of go there and finish your entire education of bachelor's of 3 years plus 2 years of MBA. Finish your formal education. So it's this is, I would definitely say, it's by far the toughest of the tests if you're looking at a bachelor's course in your offbeat or liberal arts style or those kind of education that you're looking at. You can see the list of colleges. There are some I am still missing, but I can add them later on if anybody wants to know them. Okay, the fee structure we spoke about earlier. I have put the revised one as of yesterday only. This is as of fall 23. So when your student, if your child is in 2 years, is in 9th or 10th grade, of course, the pricing is going to go up. It has gone up on an average 50 to 60,000 rupees every year. This is for 1 year. So Ashoka, Kriya, Flame, and all of the Ahmedabad, by the way, is for 4-year degree, whereas all the others have a 3+1 optional. But nowadays, because of the NEP or National Education Policy, I think all of them are starting to adapt to that 4-year degree. So it is going to be 11 into 4 or 10,80,000 into 4. That's how it's going to be, right? Ahmedabad University has always been a 4-year degree. It is still a 4-year degree. This 3,50,000 what I've given is just for tuition, because their room and board, the building that they're creating is getting ready for this cycle. So the prices are not out yet. Likewise for Symbiosis, NMIMS, the cost given here is for the 3-year degree. That's why I've given that extra thing. If anybody has questions regarding this, can ask me personally, or I'll put the screen off and we can discuss all of this. Flexibility of choice, major, option after UG, getting jobs after UG, value of the degree. I've already covered most of it. Yes, it is they have, as I said, 3+1. So if you take the 4-year degree, it counts for 16 years of education. It is valid across US, UK, and overseas. But we have seen many students getting into US and UK colleges with the 3-year degree also. So you have to check which college you're applying into, and then you can take a call whether this 4th year is required or not. I know of somebody personally who's gone from 3-year degree at Ashoka to SMU Singapore and finished her master's, then already got a job in Singapore. So it works either ways, right? Yes, I am going to stop the screen share, and I'm going to just share this. If anybody, do I need to share this, Shriti, or this is okay? They have this.
So presentation?
No, this last bit, the TRP Mumbai, if anybody wants to take a screenshot of this, can take it.
No, I think they'll have, they will get this on the email also. So
Okay.
that should be okay.
Okay, fine. I'm going to stop the screen and I'm going to leave it open for questions if anybody has. If I rushed into it, apologies, but I can walk you through any questions you might have from the very beginning.
I think it'll be great if you can ask individual questions, because see, information about universities is of course available, but here you can actually get the insight, from the.
I can give you, yes, thank you, Shruti, for that. I can actually give you personal examples of what students have gone through or, went through or are going through right now. So, I mean, that'll be helpful for you all.
Shikha, if it's
Maria has
possible,
a
if you can
question.
walk us through. Sorry, I think Maria has.
I
Maria has a
somebody's
question.
asked a question already, raised a hand.
Yeah, so this is this is Kusai. Yeah, so my question is that which colleges good for good for sciences, especially physics. Students who are interested for physics, chem, math. Yeah,
Okay, so all of
and
the ones
computer
I
science.
mentioned, all of the ones I mentioned definitely have it. Okay.
Okay.
When I say liberal arts and sciences, that means they have everything.
Okay.
Like all of the colleges I mentioned, they have every single subject: physics, chemistry, bio, economics,
Sure.
English, journalism, everything
Sure.
they have. So all of them are good. Which is good, which is bad, that depends, honestly speaking, on what your choices are. Are you looking at North India? Are you looking at Central India? Are you looking at South India? And of course, on your marks. As I told you, high school grades are important. The assessment is important.
Okay.
If the student has got like in the mid 70s or 80% overall, okay, that means you're 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and is good at speaking, then may not be a good fit for Ashoka, because they are looking at the type who are 90% and above. They are looking at grades which are higher.
Okay.
Right? I hope that answers your question, because I think your question was.
Fortunately, we have some. Fortunately, actually, my the son is actually above 90%.
Okay.
But
Excellent.
yeah, but I just wanted to ask is that uh, for actually physics, and for computer science, if you actually get these two streams, the in the north, Ashoka is good, or actually famous good. So if I'm actually
If
looking
your
into
kid
North
is,
India
see, I'll tell you, the
and
good is
Maharashtra.
very, yeah, if you can hear me, the good is a very, relative term, because
Sure.
you may not like North India. You may prefer plain. But academically, I would say Ashoka is better. And with your child's grades already being in the above 90s, of course, Ashoka is going to be a better fit. But maybe you like Ashoka, maybe you don't like Ashoka. That depends.
Sure.
Because I will tell you, Ashoka has extremes of weather. I'm assuming you're based in Bombay only.
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I will be honest, Ashoka is hot in the summer and cold in the winter. So if your child is not used to the kind of cold, and they also have, I don't know if there's any Delhi person out here, there is smog in North India. So
Yes, sure.
people are not, used to that kind of weather. So they have the pluses and minuses. My own daughter, we are from Bombay, and she was at Ashoka, and she did not like the summer at all. She was fine with the winter and the smog, but she didn't like the summer
Yeah.
at all.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I think Deepal is asking another question.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. So in all these universities, do you have a sense of what are the number of seats? Because given that these are Indian universities, do they have reservation? Do they have what is the kind of quota? Because that's a big thing in India, right? Like not a lot of universities have open seats and stuff like that. So how is the spectrum like?
So I do know for a fact that they have quota only, which is government mandated, which is like if a university is in Haryana, then 25% for Haryana students. I know for sure this is from the Haryana-based colleges. Praksha has the same thing. South India, Chennai, this one, Priya might have the same thing, but that is not, how should I say this? This is not based on the way Indian government gives our quota. It's not like Christians and Hindus and Muslims. It's not like that. It is students from that particular state.
Okay.
Okay, and I will be honest with you, I believe that I think Ashoka has also struggled to get the 25% from Haryana, because apart from Gurgaon or Faridabad, they have not been able to get the caliber of students that they want from the other cities. So they've always fallen short of the 25%, and they have kept it open and not filled it up with just random students.
All right.
So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Hi, I had a question. This is Maria. I want to know, like, how in the countries abroad, when they offer scholarships. So is that the same case in the universities here as well?
Yes. As it is, we are already in Indian universities, all of them are way nominally priced compared to foreign colleges. So we are literally I think less than 25% also as thing. But even out here, they do give scholarships. I personally have worked with 2 or 3 students who've got 100% scholarship at Flame, at Ashoka, and at Priya. I've actually worked with a student from Afghanistan who got a full right foot scholarship in Ashoka University, but unfortunately she wasn't able to join for political reasons. But we've had students getting in, and you have to see what happens at Ashoka or any of the colleges is at first you send out your application and they send you the admit. After the admit, on your portal, their scholarship and a financial document page opens up. Then you have to send your financial documents of your parents. Based on that, you will get or not get the scholarship. It can be full, it can be 10%, 20%, 50%, depends on how much money you really require. If you got the admit, they will try and meet your thing. So it is basically need based, as in if you require the money, you will get it. And if you've got the admit already, if you got the admit, they will try and meet you.
Okay, it is not depending upon the caliber of the child that, okay, because he is exceptionally good. And so the scholarship is more like a financial aid. Is that what you mean?
Yes, I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the day, every student who applies to these top colleges, first of all, there are very few liberal arts colleges in India. And the most popular ones, sought after ones, everybody who's applying is all meritorious students, right? So they can't, the way that they can take in more and give in more money is basically based on need. Okay.
Okay. And what would be the strength of these classes? I mean, just like an approximate, how many students would they be having in?
So it depends on which course you've taken. In the foundation year, they've had classes which is the auditorium style, which have had like one class, if at all, in the session in one term, if at all, 100 students. But most classes are 10 to 25, not more than that. I have personally visited the campus of Flame. I've seen their classes and the hostels. I've seen for Ashoka, I've seen for OP Jindal, I've seen for Ahmedabad. I have personally gone and visited each and every class to see, are they really promising that? If a class has 20 seats, it has got 20 seats. They're not going to force in more seats and benches just like that. But then there are these lecture style ones also, when you have a visiting faculty or you have some course which is so popular. And I do know for sure there are some courses which are like, if Raghuram Rajan, who used to be the the governor of I think RBI at one time, he is also I think got some stake at Kriya University. When he's coming in to talk, everybody wants to listen. So then they have more than 100 or 200 students sitting out there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any more questions? Please ask me anything. You can ask me about bathrooms, you can ask me about rooms, you can ask me about room sharing basis, anything about hostel facilities, anything. I mean, or except for academics, because I don't know how the faculty teaches. I know they teach well, but beyond that, I can tell you as a parent what you might be looking at.
Shikha, I've had a lot of parents asking about placements and all, after in comparison. So if you could throw some light on that also.
Okay. So the good news is that the top of the pack is Ashoka, and I've heard from many parents that the faculties and the placements have become fabulous. I've actually spoken to other people from the other side also. I've spoken to people from Ernst & Young and at Google in Bangalore, and they've literally said that they have started hiring students from Ashoka. And I know Ashoka is, I'm going on saying Ashoka all again and again, but I know many people from Flame also who are working in good companies in Bombay. Everybody gets placed here and there. Of course, the ones who are getting placed from the campus are the ones which are better grades. And of course, then they have to pass their interview. But campus placements are happening. And to answer the question, it can be the better ones at better colleges also. Like, those are getting the jobs, or the better students at the not so selective college. They are also getting the jobs. So anybody, see, at the end of the day, you're going into college to study. You've got to do well. Your job is to be a student, be a good one at that, is what I always say. If you're a good student, you'll always get good placements also, whether it's through the college or through personal networking. Shruti, anything else?
No, that's from my side. Thank you. Anyone else? Any questions?
Okay, I just want to reiterate because I did say it in the beginning in the part of my presentation that SAT, ACT just for India is not required. If you're applying to only Indian colleges and not looking at any other college, there is no need to rush into SAT, ACT just because your entire classmate or all the students are there. Don't fall under peer pressure. But if you want to keep your options open, then it's a good idea to do the SAT. If you were still not sure that whether you're going to apply to a US or not, keep the options open. Then you might as well take the SAT or ACT. All right, any questions?
Nothing. We're all set.
I think I either gave a very good presentation or everybody is like, they know it all. So
No, typically they've all lasted, I think 40 to 45 minutes. So
okay.
I think we're on time.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shikha. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikha.
Thank you, Shikha.
Thank you all for attending. Yeah.
For attending. Bye-bye.